Thank you for joining Dave's Shop. I'm Dave, and it is Morning Coffee Talk Live, March the 5th. G-Man joined. Hey, man, how's it going? Sammy, Yola, Nicole, good morning. Brian, Chuck, Love 1926, Wisconsin joined. Good morning. Everybody's up bright and early on Thursday. Man, that's great. Hopefully, if you're new here, let me know where you're from. Thank you for joining us bright and early. I hope you brought your coffee. Thank you for all the likes. Always, as a quick reminder, it's free to like, share, and follow, and I do the same at the end of the live. If there's something that you like to talk about or you want to talk about, let me know. Send me a chat. You can always send me an email. We've got some things going. And of course, it's time for a big cup of coffee. Thanks for joining. If you send those little hearts, you're automatically added to the fan club. And so I appreciate all of that support too. Was out working in the shop. I'm working on having to move my office and stuff. So I've been spending a lot of time and several $100 with materials and stuff. So thank goodness. I was thinking yesterday, I was like, man, I started adding it all together, and I was like, this is a little kind of an expensive move, but much cheaper than $8,000 AC unit that I was considering. So anyway. Lloyd Miller, thanks for joining, man. Good morning. So get your coffee. Hopefully this is not my this ain't my first cup. This is my second cup. I usually have to get up and get at least one cup in me to get ready for the day and do a little short Bible study. So that's my first 30 minutes every morning. Before we go live. Evelyn Vanell, thanks for joining. 2 cup slowdown. Hey, North 64, you got that part right. Oh man, it is just, like I said, it's been a crazy week. Now, what I've been doing too about the with the shop is, if you don't know or hadn't heard, I'm having to move I don't know. I call it my office because it's where I do my social media. It's where I broadcast from. I'm having to move it from the where I am now in the garage to my shop out behind the house. So that requires. Hang on. Lloyd Miller, I'm heading to the hospital for a stress test today. Lloyd, well, I hope everything's okay. Stress tests sometimes are good. Well, I say that. I mean, I'm sorry that you're having to go to the hospital for a stress test, but if there's an issue, you definitely want to try to find out as soon as possible. You don't want to be in the back of an ambulance having where you've had a heart attack and it was something that was preventable. So everybody, y'all put Lloyd Miller in your prayers today. He's headed to the hospital for a stress test, and that can kind of be scary. Just look at it like this, Lloyd. It's kind of like going to the gym, but when you get tired and you're on that treadmill, they won't turn it off. I'm not making fun. I've been there, and I'm telling you, I was like, God dang, I'm exhausted here. Could you turn this thing off? And they won't do it until you go all the way through it. Biscuit joined. Hey, Miss T. Hey, man. Corky Cross, Trey, M. Gutierrez, E. Edison joined. I like it. Lovely. Come on. I was wondering where all my TikTok peeps were yesterday. I'm telling you, my YouTubers yesterday just whooped butt. I think I had 30 or 35 people joined the live on YouTube yesterday, and somebody told me that people didn't do lives on YouTube. I think they were pulling my leg. What do y'all think? Sam Taylor, what are we up to here? Sam, we're just up to our necks in alligators usually. Brian Nethery, why would my distributor, your heat distributor, not start unless I hit it? I have no idea. Very nice. So anyway, we're talking about having to move my office from, so this is like one half of my garage. And of course, my wife has to have half to park her car in. And there's no air conditioning in here. And right today, like right now in Central Texas, it's about 73 degrees, which is not bad. But it's been getting in the upper 80s already. And it's just early March. And we were having those days in February, which is normally February and March in Central Texas can be cold. I mean, you can have cold weather. I think what happened is CalCop sent all of that West Texas wind to us, because I want to tell you, it's been so windy that it will blow the hair right off of your head. Look. See, I was outside all day yesterday. So if you go outside as windy as it's been, wear a cap. Ta-da, ta-da. I'll be here all week. Yeah, like I said, everybody put Lloyd in your prayers today. He's having a stress test. I would say, Lloyd, don't stress over it too much. Go in with a positive attitude and know that we are all thinking about you and hope that it turns out okay. Kelly Rosenthal, my bud of bud. What's up? Good morning. And then we have Squally Squiggles. God best believe the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. I'll get you there. Thank you for supporting. Oh, yeah, that's somebody trying to start stuff. Wisconsin, thanks. Hey, Roy Rogers. What about a unit? Okay, so let me, I keep getting distracted. I'm going to stop reading the messages just for a second and let you know what I was talking about. So I've spent probably the last, once I made the decision that I was going to move out to the shop, I had several things that I needed to overcome. The first thing I needed to overcome was the fact that there's about 250 feet, between 250 and 300 feet to the closest internet connection. So I had to figure out a way to get internet from point A to point B. And that I did on Saturday. I started at about 6 a.m. and it was about 5:30 or 6 when I finished. I actually tested that connection and sealed everything off yesterday. So we have gig service to the shop now. I do have a new router that I had to purchase. It just got here. I haven't set that up yet, but mainly because my shop is like, I mean, it looks terrible. I mean, I got stuff pulled out everywhere. The only good thing is, over the last few months, I have tried to put everything I can in my shop on wheels. I have my work tables on wheels. I have an 8-foot workbench. It's on wheels where I can pull it away from the wall. I have some metal shelves that I store stuff on. And I guess this move has kind of made me do a couple things. And today, this one of the things I'm going to be working on is, you find yourself in a shop, and I wish Tractor Man 44 was here, because I've seen pictures of his shops, and I think he has multiple ones. And man, there's just stuff everywhere. You just collect stuff. It just seems to like grow on you. And then, so kind of what I've looked at is that there's things that I've had probably 20 years that I haven't probably used in 5. hadn't even touched them, but I'm storing them. And so, you know, my goal is I want to separate the things I really don't need, and that I am not using anymore, and get them all together. And then usually what I do, because there's always somebody, I don't want to say there's always somebody looking for something for free. There's those type of people, but then there's people who can't afford, like for instance, here's what happened yesterday. I had some foldable sawhorses, and I probably haven't used those sawhorses, but I've kept them stored so they're in good condition. And I've probably had them 25 years, but they unfold, they work, and they'll hold quite a bit of weight. I just don't use the sawhorses anymore, because I bought those when I had a swimming pool business, and a lot of times I would have to go on site and do a lot of repairs, and I needed a big work table, and so I could take a sheet of plywood, keep it at the back of the truck, fold out those sawhorses by the pool area where I was going to be working, and lay out all my tools and then go to work. But I haven't used those in, I want to say I haven't used them in 10 years, but I've had them stored on a shelf, and that shelf's coming down. So I took them out. I took pictures of them. I posted them on, we have a neighborhood free, where you can give away free stuff. You can sell stuff too, but I usually just give it away. And I posted them, and within about 3 minutes, I had somebody ask if I still had them, and I'm like, yeah, I do still have them, and they wanted to know if they could come get them. And it was somebody who needed some sawhorses that were fixing to, go spend some money, and boom. So it went to someone who's going to use them, and then they're out of my way. So that's what I try to do. And so I finished the back wall of the shop. As far as insulating goes, I'm probably on the most difficult wall that I have to re-insulate, because it's where I have tools and workbenches, and so all of that stuff's got to come out. So I'm trying to move it from point A to point B. I can't take stuff when I work. I have to take stuff out of the shop so that I can work, and then at the end I got to put it all back in to store it overnight. So I'm getting close. I've got to go pick up the AC unit today. I got a message late last night that had arrived, and so I've got to go, and I purchased it from Lowe's, so I'm going there to pick it up today. But I need to finish the back wall of which is going to be my backdrop, and so I've got some stuff I got to take off of it. I've got to build so I have a barn style shop. So, and the one thing that, if I would have been thinking when I bought it 20 years ago and had it built on site, I wasn't thinking this barn style shop only has a 5-foot wall, and then it starts to do the barn shape. So it's really tall. But it would even be taller, and you would have a lot more storage room if you had an 8-foot wall, and then it did that. But I don't. Mine has a 5-foot wall and does it. So behind me is, you'll see the 5-foot wall. It's all insulated, and I've taken, just like here, I've taken cedar, and after I've insulated it, and I've enclosed it with cedar. But the upper half of it it's just like framed around the outside, but no 2x4 studs. So therefore you got to have some 2x4 studs to be able to put in the insulation. And that upper half gets the late afternoon sun. So I've got to take everything off of it because I got some shelves up high that I stored stuff on. Get all that down, and then figure out how I'm going to install some, 2x4 studs on 16-inch centers so that I can install the insulation and then enclose it with some more cedar. So that's what I'm working on currently. Let's see what else is going on today. So let me look at messages real quick. Encourage more of you to think. So here's the thing that I ask everybody to do. We're on track and we're trying to get to 10,000 followers. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you now, I am an affiliate marketer. I'm an affiliate with TikTok Shop. I'm affiliate with YouTube, Amazon, and some independents. So the more, if we get to that, for some reason, that 10,000 follower mark is like a badge of honor, I guess. I'm not real sure, but a lot of these companies, that's one of the first things they look at when they're considering allowing you to become an affiliate is they want to see that 10,000 mark. So what's free today and free every day is you can like, share, and follow on TikTok, GIFs, all of that stuff helps. And same thing on YouTube. YouTube, it's like, share, and subscribe. All of those are free. They don't cost a penny, but they really help the channel out. And the two probably most important things is, one, to share the live. That's easy. And two, to subscribe. I try to return the favor as much as I possibly can. Of course, there's a lot of people on TikTok that don't create content, and everybody's limited to 10,000 followers. So if you're one of those people that join and you don't create content, I may or may not follow you back, but it doesn't mean that you're not important. You are important. But when you're trying to grow your audience, it's beneficial if you follow people that are, one, like-minded, or two, have followers too, because it just helps grow the whole thing. And to say yesterday that, when we were talking, I had tons of YouTubers, in the live, and I look up and I had one or two people on TikTok. So I don't know if I just missed it or not, because yesterday was a good day on TikTok. I think I got, I think there was like 20 new followers. So thank you. And I want everybody to know that if you're regular and we follow each other, and you come and support every day, dude, that is probably the most important thing, that I have people that come back and listen to me ramble and talk about the shop, or we talk about politics, or just act silly or whatever. So it must be nice to be skilled with my hands. And I was going to ask some questions like that. So I don't want to say that I am a skilled carpenter, because I have worked with some skilled carpenters and they make me look like a third grader. They really do. I mean, anything that I know about carpentry, I've learned from messing stuff up. And the rest of it's self-taught, self-preservation, I guess. When I was younger, I was a broke joke, and I couldn't afford to pay anybody to fix it. I couldn't afford to pay you to fix the toilet or the car, or if there was any possible way that I could fix it myself, that's what I had to do. And so that's where you learn a lot of stuff. I'm thinking about getting a welding certificate. XL Saturn, I think if you like to weld and you're in that realm of, that is a skill that I can weld, but I'm not very good at it because I just don't weld a lot. And so if you're looking at becoming a welder as, to make a living, definitely. I mean, if I had time, I would go get certified in all kinds of stuff. Everybody says, would you like to go back to college? I said, no, I want to go to trade school. I want to learn more about being an electrician. I mean, I know, what they call a do-it-yourselfer. And I'm way more comfortable with plumbing, and mainly because I worked in the plumbing industry for a little while, selling plumbing supplies, and so I learned a lot from plumbers. And I know a little bit about electrical, but I'm not near as confident about electrical as I am plumbing. And then I'm fairly decent with carpentry work. A lot of it I can do. If it's something that really fancy, I can't really build furniture. I mean, I can build 2x4 furniture if that's what you want. And surprisingly, if you don't have a lot of money and you need an end table or a dining table or a student desk, or dude, go get you some dang 2x4s, a little bit of wood glue. If you don't have a skill saw, borrow a skill saw, and you can build your own furniture really quick. And you will be surprised that it's probably 10 times better and will last 10 times longer than anything you can go to the store and buy. And you will spend a whole lot less money. And if you don't believe me, go to my YouTube page, search my videos. There's one where I made a student desk back during COVID for my granddaughter. And I spent maybe, of course, the lumber prices were cheaper then, but I spent maybe $30. Go check it out, and you'll see how easy it is to do that. This desk that I have here, that I have all my stuff on, it's not a fancy desk. This is because I have bad knees and I can't get up and down off the floor like I used to. I've learned to stand up and work. So I built a work table that I can stand up at and do most of whatever I want to do. And it's got wheels on it so I can move it around. I don't have to lift it. And it's all built out of 2x4s. The actual top to the desk, I mean, you're going to think I'm cheap because I am, and frugal. It is a tabletop off of an old table out of an office that, where I used to work, and they were throwing these tables away. And it's got a Formica top with pre-hole drills for each end for running cables through, like, I don't know what they used it for. And I just took the legs off of it because the top it looked, it's dated, but it's in good shape. And this stuff is expensive. And then I have it set on top of my work table and clamped with some clamps. That's it. That's all that holds it on here. Makes a great desk. People see it all the time and go, I would have never thought about making that a desk. And I can move it around. I can push it out. I can pull it back so that it's easy. It has a bottom piece on it. So as I'm sitting here, I have one of those tall office chairs, and I can put my feet on the bottom, and it's pretty comfortable. And so I built one of these out in the shop years ago, and I thought, I'm gonna build another one. And so sure as the world I have, and I've had so many requests to build these work tables. But yeah, it doesn't work. Hey, Jim, thanks for the follow, man. Casey's in Nacogdoches this morning. Oh man, that's great. But so those are the kind of things that you can do. But if you like welding, I have my lifelong friend of 40 years can weld. He's really good at welding, but it's because he has built metal buildings for years, and there's welding involved. So he it's something that he gets to do periodically. And he's a fair carpenter. Not great. He's kind of like me, but just out of needs, you learn how to do stuff. But I think the trades are the way to go in this day and time. I think AI is going to take a lot more jobs than it creates. It's already doing it. If I was 18, 20, 25 again, I'd be getting into a trade as fast as I could. Literally, you can make a very good living as a plumber, electrician, even a carpenter. There are real demands for carpenters. You might not think there is, but there's still a demand for carpenters. People need stuff fixed all the time. Becoming a handyman even. But plumbing, electrician, welder, all of those are good things that if I was doing it over again, that's what I'd learn to do. And computers are good too, but the thing about technology and computers is it's constantly changing. So what you might be an expert in today, 3 years from now, you won't know what direction's up if you don't keep up with it. Retired bricklayer mason. Dude, when I was young, I used to watch, I built houses as a construction manager for a company, and I didn't do the work, but I was around some really talented bricklayers. Dude, if you've never really watched somebody lay brick on a house, I mean, it's like artwork. It really is. The methods that they use. I mean, think about how do they get all those bricks straight? How's it level? How do they do that? I worked a whole summer for a guy that was a bricklayer when I was a kid, and I was just stunned. And not only that they could do it, but how fast they do it, because it's just kind of like they're talking and going on, and you're like, how do they know what they're doing? But they do, and it's real artwork. So Timothy Thomas, 1737, says he's a retired bricklayer and stonemason. And I think that's also a honorable and a good way to make money. There's lots of people that, even on the side when you're retired, how many people want you to do rock work around their trees and their flower beds. And I mean, you can make a killing doing that. I'm in Nacogdoches. I'll be in Houston in 2 hours, then get another load. Houston delivered to Louisiana. Okay. Benny, morning. I'm about to clock in for my garbage route. Thank you for what you do, Benny. There you go. Everybody says driving a truck, garbage trucks also. I'm like, dude, just think about it. If we didn't have people driving our garbage trucks, what would we do with all our garbage? I tell you, I think our guys, I know my garbage man by first name. In the summertime, I always make sure if I see him, I'll run out and give him a Gatorade or tell him thank you. At Christmas time, I try to, give him a little Christmas cookies and stuff. And, a lot of people just don't think they're trash guys near enough. My vote is if you don't know your trash guy, maybe stand on the curb on trash day and see if you get to know them, because they do come and go. I've been fortunate. We've had the same one for the last 3 or 4 years. But good to know your trash guy, because you never know when, maybe you have just a little more than what you're supposed to have. But he's like, don't worry about it. Just chunk it in there. I'll pick it up. And, it's always good to have that and not have to, it's just like developing relationships. They go a long way for you. All you have to do is look around and see all the Mexican American working in the trades making good living. Yeah, they are, Steve Scuba. You're right. They do. They you got sheetrockers, framers. I mean, those guys are making good money. And the main thing about the trades that I talk about now is that you can bet. So AI is going everywhere. All these data centers are going nuts, and yeah, AI will never take over a plumber's job, an electrician's job, a welder, a mason. They're not. Now they may help you down the road if you're also, have a computer. They may make your job better, but AI can't lay brick, and AI can't weld joints or run electricity or install lights or fan. All of that stuff AI can't do. So I feel like you would be pretty safe, and technology won't take a job from you. I worked in technology, and AI did take our jobs. Took a lot of them, but it basically changed the company's direction, and they did two things. One, AI took over some of the stuff, and then they decided to contract out with a big company to do the rest overseas. And so everybody in the United States and Canada got laid off and let go. So there you go. However, good news. I don't know, you probably weren't, you may or may not have been here yesterday. A good friend of mine that I worked with and have for years, Jason, he kept telling me he was going to join us on YouTube. He doesn't have TikTok, but he's on YouTube. And, he's been constantly looking for a job once we found out we were going to be let go. And good news was he finally got one yesterday. And not only did he get a job, but it's more money than he was making. So thank God. I was praying for him to find a new place, and he just did. So a lot of it just out of sheer, dedication. I mean, his job has been looking for a job, but he was finally rewarded yesterday. So that's just made me happy. And he joined the first live on YouTube. So I like that too. AI can't drive trucks either. Casey is our local truck driver. He drives coast to coast, north, south, mostly east and west, from California all the way over to New Jersey or Minnesota or Michigan, or just anywhere up and down the East Coast to the West Coast. He's currently down south near Houston, and then going over to Louisiana. And you're right, AI can't drive trucks to get items to market. So that's what I'm working on. And I'm taking pictures of the different stages of what I'm working on, because I'm going to try to put it together like in a slideshow or something. I got to figure out how I can post. And I mean, with TikTok, they have a photo thing where you can just post different photos, and people can see that. But I'd maybe like to put them all together and where you could just kind of look at them if you wanted to. Let's see. Okay. Few things that I wanted to cover today. One is it's already hot in here. So I'm going to turn a little fan going, get a little breeze blowing back here behind me. Craig was I can drive now, but I can't secure one. I gotta appreciate the truckers. You really do, because think about it. If we didn't have guys, and I want to tell you how hard this is. Just think about this. You're in a truck that's maybe, I don't know how wide they are. Y'all seen 18-wheelers with the cab sleepers on. How would you like to live in one of those 4 weeks in a row on the road in places maybe you've never been, in truck stops? I could tell you, and you're by yourself, and your wife's back home taking care of the home front, feeding your horses, taking care of that, and you get to go home 3 or 4 days a month. Dude, that's a tough way to make a living. Now, the pay could be phenomenal, but it's still a tough way to make a living. And I've driven big trucks before when I worked for Coca-Cola, but it was always local and I went home every night. But when you're all over the road driver, that's not the case. So like I said, it's a tough way to make a living. But Casey was one of those guys that he was affected in a layoff. He was working local and got laid off, and never heard a word of disparity. I'm sure he went through a week or a few days of not being a very happy camper, but he jumped up, put his pants on, and went and got himself another job pretty quickly, within 2 or 3 weeks, I'd say. And now he's got his own lease truck, and he's out there making a living again. And so we're really proud of you, Casey, for doing that, not just sitting on the couch feeling sorry for yourself. So you did good, and you do good, and we thank you for what you do. So yeah, because if without the truckers, you go to Walmart, guess what? There wouldn't be anything on the shelf. You go to the grocery store, there wouldn't be anything there either. You go to the hardware store, there wouldn't be anything there. Crazy K13, thumbs up. Good morning. Okay, so what else was it I wanted to talk about? So I'll send pictures of the shop, and that's where I'm at. I'm working on the back wall. I'm going to get the air conditioning unit today. I would like to say that I'd have everything moved in a week or so, but probably not, because tomorrow's being Friday, and I'm going to leave town tomorrow for the weekend. We're going to visit some of our lifelong friends of 40 plus years. They just built a new house, and so we're going to go hang out with them for a couple of days. So I won't be doing any kind of work. I'm just going to take a couple of days to relax and hang out, and then back at it next week. This seems like the projects just keep rolling. Okay. First things first. Wait a second. I want to pull up a document that I have. That's not what I want. I'm sitting here. I'm mouse clicking. I'm just not clicking the right area. Okay. Here we go. All right. So, don't forget about the giveaway for Super Clean. Super Clean has graciously sponsored a giveaway, and this is what you'll get: a 32-ounce bottle of concentrate, and then the aerosol can. Totally free. You have to be in the United States. You have to be 18 years old. The deadline to enter, hang on, I'm looking at my calendar, is March the 11th. March the 11th, 12 Central Time, noon, will be the cutoff to get your entry in. To enter, all you have to do is send me an email to Dave's Shop, the number 2, at gmail.com. And in that email, on the subject line, you need to type in Super Clean. And all I need is your first and last name. And the reason I need that is because that's what I fill out on the little slip that we draw from. And then we will draw during the live on March the 12th to see who gets this giveaway. And the way we've done some other giveaways where I personally ship the winner the prize, but these items will be shipped directly from Super Clean to you, since they are sponsoring the giveaway. Let's see, what else did I need to tell you? It doesn't cost you a penny. They take care of all the shipping. You don't have to be present during the live to win. We would like for you to be present on that day because it's a lot more fun. And then we can celebrate together. I don't know if you've ever used Super Clean, but I use, it's a degreaser. This one bottle can be diluted 16-1 depending on what you're using it on. I use it to clean stove tops, grills. If you have an oil spot or grease spot on your shop floor or your driveway, this is the product right here. Take care of it and does a wonderful job. And then I usually use the aerosol can. Like if I want to clean my engine or under the engine bay, this works really good. And these are just two of the main products, but they also have this one, which is, it's just Super Clean, but it's the foaming Super Clean. And I use this one in the shower, the tub area, in the bathroom in general, and any kind of vertical area where you want a little foam, that works good. The other thing too that I found that the original Super Clean does real good at is in your shop, everybody has oil. A lot of people have a shop sink where they wash their grease off their hands or whatever they're doing. That's, you know, where they wash up. And those fiberglass sinks sometimes, man, they'll look disgusting. Man, you can spray it down and just kind of course, you know, wet it a little bit and then just spray some of this on it. Wait about 3 to 5 minutes. Boom, you will have a clean sink. And so Super Clean is based out of Minnesota. So it's a US based company. You can get their products at Walmart. I don't know. I know they're in Walmart here, AutoZone here, and other places. You can buy direct from Super Clean. Well, I say buy direct. If you go to their website, they have a link that will direct you to a retailer near you where you can buy the product. But I've been using that product for a couple of years. I met them through YouTube and affiliate marketing. And I tell you, they've been a great partner. They always keep up with me. They send me emails throughout the year just asking if there's anything that they can do. Their marketing person is phenomenal. I did ask to see if maybe they did sponsorships, but they don't. But they do giveaways. And so I appreciate the giveaway. And I've been holding off on this one for 2 or 3 weeks now. So I let her know, hey, her name's Jessica, that we were doing the giveaway, and she's all excited about that. So if your name is drawn, what I will do is I will send you another email. And in that email, I'll need your first, last name, address, and a contact phone number. That information will be forwarded to Super Clean because they're shipping the product directly to you, and then they'll take it from there. You need to know that I don't save email addresses, I don't share email addresses, and I don't sell email addresses. So if you ever email me and I have your email address, you're not going to be spammed with anything. I'm not gonna, you know, if you get anything from me, it's because, you know, I'm communicating with you for a reason. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm not gonna send you an email every day saying, hey, look at me. No, we don't do that. So the email addresses are basically what they were designed for, communication between you and I. And I don't use them for anything else. So there you go. So you can feel confident in that. So you have to be 18, US citizen, no purchase necessary. This is being sponsored by Super Clean. It's not sponsored by YouTube and or TikTok. Super Clean is the sponsor of this giveaway. The previous giveaways, I was the sponsor. It was something that was mine that I gave away that I had done videos on. And, you know, I don't know what's coming up next. This is about the 4th giveaway in a row, but everybody likes giveaways. It's free to enter. So make sure you send me an email to daveshop2@gmail.com. Yeah, you're right there. 2775. You're right. Driving a truck is probably one of the easiest jobs to replace with. Well, I know where you're going with that. You're saying self-driving trucks. Now, I'm not going to say that we don't. I know I've seen some of them. There's still a lot of stuff to transport and goods, but I just don't see it. You know, maybe in the future, but not right now. Was that Dr. Lobenschatz? Privacy first. Absolutely. Okay, so let me just catch up on some messages. Ed, good morning. Thank you. I'm entered. Good. Casey, good morning. Hey, Casey, that Super Clean be a good item to have on your truck. You know, you get stuff all over. There's grease here and there and everywhere. How does it work on bathtubs? It works really well. You know, our bathtubs are like that cultured man-made marble. Yeah, works good. That's where I use the foaming. I use the foaming in my shower. Yeah, so it's great for cleaning your oven door, your cooktop, counters. You know, it's just you can dilute it a little bit and use it just as an all-purpose cleaner. Most of the time, I don't ever dilute it, but you can even, like, if you say you have a mechanic or somebody who has work clothes and they come home and the work clothes are really dirty, and so you usually wash them separate from your family's clothes. You can take a quarter cup of that Super Clean and add it to your laundry. Like if you've got something like that that's got grease spots on it and stuff, you can actually apply it directly to your clothes. Like if you have a big, I've used it a couple times for cooking. I get the grease pops and gets on my shirt, and before I wash it, I'll hit it with some of that Super Clean and wash it, and no more grease. Does really good. The good thing is when you get, if you win that and you get it and it's sent to you from Super Clean, there's all kinds of things that you can use it for, and they have all kinds of instructions, mixing instructions, you know, how to dilute it, what to use it on, all the details, and that they usually send you that in a couple of flyers, and then you can always go to their website and read about it too. So there we go. All right, so there's that part of it. Real quick, again, I'm showing you this trickle charger here. It's by it's called Battery Tender Plus, and I'm not giving this away. This was for me. And I got it because I have a riding mower, and it's great to connect to the battery. Once I started using one of these, this is my second one. It, I think, made the battery last longer because it, you know, when you're not using it in the winter months, it just sits and the battery gets really low, sometimes completely dead. Then you have to charge it up. And with one of these battery tenders hooked to it, stays fully charged. It never overcharges. Once it gets to where it needs to be, it turns itself off, and it's just keeps your battery in tip-top shape, and extends the life of it, I think, my personal opinion. And you're saying, why are you showing us these products? And so the people on TikTok know why I am. But I'll tell you again, because I'm an affiliate, and I'm an affiliate with YouTube, and anything I show during the live products-wise, and I don't even have to pitch them, I just can talk about them, I can pin to the live. So like the way YouTube works is we're streaming to TikTok and YouTube, but YouTube films the whole live and then turns it into a long form video. Once it's in the long form video, I'm able to tag those products in that video, so that if anybody on YouTube or anywhere sees that and sees those products tagged and wants to buy one, well, then they can click the tag, and if they make a purchase, I get a small commission. So that's why I do that. And if you're not familiar, as of January the 2nd, I was moved into what I call unplanned retirement, because the company did a reorg and laid a bunch of us off. And so this is what I'm doing. I committed to giving it my social media I've been doing since 2019, but I'm giving it a full 6 months every day, something with social media to grow it and see if I can generate enough cash flow to between my Social Security and this to offset some of the salary that I lost with the layoff and loss of a job. So there you go. So now you know when I show products in the live, that's most of the time that's what it's for. One more product I want to talk about, and this is a TikTok product. So before I show it to you, though, I have to ask everybody in the comments, tell me, what is your favorite hard candy? Everybody has one, I think. Or, you know, maybe if you don't eat candy at all, that would be all right too. Good bomb, Brian, 7488. Gotta love Marty Robbins. What did you do before? I worked in technology. I worked for Marriott International. I was in charge of the Southwest United States. We handled all the technology issues, equipment, imaging, and we also did all the shipping and receiving for computer equipment and accessories to all of the United States and Canada. So that's what I did. I've done other things too, but that's what I've done that's what I've been doing the last 16, 17 years. Candy, get back to candy. Tell me in the chat, everybody, come on, wake up. There's 12, 13, 14, 15 people on YouTube. Put something in the chat. What kind of hard candy do you like? If you like any. So Casey says, no hard. You're funny. So tell me, all right. So Brian likes butterscotch. I like butterscotch pretty good too. Pear drops? I don't think I've ever had pear drops. Lemon heads? I like lemon heads, all right. Red Hots? Oh, I ate a lot of Red Hots when I was a kid. Okay, so I'm fixing to show you my favorite. Well, I have two. What is it? It's a UK thing. Very nasty. Lemon heads? Oh, what you're talking about. Okay. Ready? Okay. Sorry, driving. Oh, okay. Yeah. Careful there, Casey. All right. Anybody else got any pear? So we've had pear drops. We've had butterscotch. I like butterscotch. My grandparents always had butterscotch. Lemon heads. I like lemon heads. Red Hots. Ed said I like Red Hots. So there's two hard candies that I like. One, I like peppermints, hard peppermints, not the soft ones. And the reason I like peppermints, and I think the reason I like this hard candy too, is in my younger youth, I had a bad habit of chewing tobacco, and my wife embarrassed me one day and said, I told her if she quit smoking that I'd quit chewing tobacco, and then she quit, and I didn't do what I said I was going to do. And 2 years later, out of the clear blue, and God had to be a part of this, she says in front of a group of our friends, and I think maybe I did something to make her mad. I don't know. But she said, I just don't think you're a man of your word. And I was like, it stopped. It was like E.F. Hutton said something. Everybody in the room was like, what? And I was like, what are you talking about? She goes, you said you were going to quit if I quit. And I quit 2 years ago and you didn't. And that was the last day, folks, for any kind of tobacco products in my life. So to quit, I chewed on those little toothpicks, you know, the hot cinnamon toothpicks. And that didn't last long because that cinnamon oil in them would blister your lips. And then I started eating peppermints when I would, you know, just it was more that oral fixation of having something to do. And then I got on this item here, and it's Fireballs. They're a hard candy. Anybody ever eat any of these? The original Fireballs? Do you know these things are like super hard to find anymore? I haven't been able to find them anywhere locally. The only place you can find them is there's 1 or 2 vendors on Amazon. And when I saw this came from TikTok. When I saw this item on TikTok, I had to request a free sample as an affiliate. And I was like, they probably won't send it to you. But they did. They sent me, and I mean, this is probably it's a 1 pound bag, and it's the original. There's a lot of fakes out there. This one is not fake. And how you can tell they're not fake is the wrappers say Atomic on them, okay? I think it says Atomic. I can't read it. Okay, it says Atomic Fireball. And I like peppermints, but I like Fireballs even better. So I always have a jar of peppermints and Fireballs. Usually, I don't have a lot of people take me up on the Fireballs, but I do have a lot of people eat, with their hands in my peppermint jar, which is fine. That's what they're there for. But anyway, I wanted to show y'all these Fireballs. I don't even know how much they're selling for because I'm going to do a video later today promoting these. But when I got this the other day, I was like, woohoo! My wife saw them and she knew exactly. She goes, yeah, Fireballs, right? And I'm like, yep. Jay Cook, good morning, buddy. So I wanted to show those to you. So, ta-da! Product showing is over. Oh, no, wait a minute. I got one other item. First, let me ask you a question. If you have a toolbox, and maybe you do and maybe you don't, and put something in the comments to let me know, how many of you inevitably you need a screwdriver and you can't find either the right size or, you know, maybe you don't have a toolbox or you do have a toolbox and there's just not enough room to keep enough different types of screwdrivers in. And there's just not really a great way to organize them either. Have y'all thought about that? Did any of you ever, Fireball isn't that liquor? No, I know what you're talking about. The little Fireball liquor, that's whiskey. And no, I don't partake in that. 10 millimeter socket. Yeah. What does that say? I remember when I was a child, I hadn't seen those in a while. Yeah. The Fireballs are, they've been around a long time. They used to be penny candy. Black licorice, jelly beans, gag me. No, jelly beans are not bad, but I don't like licorice at all. Sweet, a real pioneer like butterscotch. Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm just kind of scrolling through to make sure I didn't miss anything. So Dr. Lobbin Shots, just so you know, I'm not slamming AI. I think there's some real benefits to it. I'm just afraid that, you know, it's all about a buck. It's money. And where there's money, there's corruption. And there's a few people going to make a lot of money off of AI. And if it costs people their jobs, then, you know, I think they throw caution to the wind. And all I'm saying is, I like this. Timothy Thomas, 1737, painters. I hate to paint. I can paint. I know how to paint. And I won't pay somebody to paint for me because I do know how. But it is the one thing in the trades that I know how to do and that I despise painting. And I know people, and usually it's women, who have told me they love to paint. It's like therapeutic to them. It is not therapeutic for me to paint inside, outside, or at all. I hate painting. Anybody else on this live hate to paint? If you do, just put hate to paint, because I hate to paint. Okay, so Casey has 3 toolboxes. And I guess I'm gonna have to show one more item just for Casey though. And it's a TikTok item. And Casey, let me show you. I was a little skeptical the first time I saw this particular item. But if you're trying to organize all your sockets, oh, dang it. Sorry, TikTok makes you do this little goofy. It's to verify you're not a bot. Okay, so if you're trying to organize, what does it say? Does it make you shoot fireballs? No. Okay, so I'm not talented enough. The one thing that if I was gonna paint something that I would really like to learn how to do, I don't like doing body work. But have you ever seen somebody paint a car? I'm talking about somebody who really knows what they're doing. Man, those guys are like artists. And I would like to know, knowing how to do that type of stuff, to paint and be good at it would be pretty cool. But I'm talking about painting walls in your house, painting the exterior of your home. I hate it. I don't like it. It's not therapeutic. And of course, I didn't mind it so much when I was younger. I'll tell you a story real quick about paint. This is just an idea of why I hate to paint. There's another house. We had a inclined driveway, and I was painting the arch that was over the garage doors. And I had to get up there pretty high to paint that. And I was on an extension ladder. And so I'm on the extension ladder. I have paint in one hand, a brush in the other, and I'm painting the very eave. And the way that was set up is above the garage, it wasn't totally flat. There was a little subroof that stuck out, I don't know, 2 feet, right? To redirect water away from the garage door. So you're on an incline and on a extended ladder, and I'm standing up at the top with a bucket in one and the paint in the other. And what happens? The ladder gives away, slides down the wall. I drop the paint. I grab the ladder, and as it's coming down, it just laid the skin back on both hands from my fingernails back to my back knuckles, because it came down and caught that second section of roof. I hit the middle of the driveway, and of course there's paint all over me, the house, the driveway, and my wife comes out and wants to know, would I please quit playing around and making a mess in the driveway? So that's a true story. And then she started laughing until she realized that I didn't have any skin left on the tops of my hand, and then she didn't think it was too funny. But so that's one of the reasons I hate to paint. Okay, so back to Casey's issue. Michael Mignard, thanks for the follow, man. Like I said, it's free today and every day. Like, share, subscribe on YouTube. Super chats, gifts, hearts, you name it, go for it. So I want to show this one last item to you. And if you've been on TikTok, I know you've probably seen it, I think, and maybe on YouTube you've seen them. Have you seen these magnetic? Here, let me hold it up here so you can see. There's different makers of this very similar product, but this one I got on TikTok. Has anybody seen this product? Anybody? Does anybody have something like this product in your toolbox? Because if you don't, invest the money. Because if you want your sockets, if you're like everybody else, everybody has all kinds of different ways to try to keep up with them. They're either in a hard case with some ratchets, but then you got to go find that hard case. Oh, and you're like, where did I put it? You can take these and they cut. So this particular one comes on TikTok. It's a whole set, and it's this is the 1/4 inch, but it has 3/8 and 1/2 inch, and it has standard and metric. And trust me when I tell you, if you get one of these and you put them in your toolbox, you better have your toolbox lined first. So you need to have a drawer liner in it, because the magnet on these things, I wish I had something where everybody could see. And I mean, I'm actually giving these away. Unfortunately, we're not going to do them in a giveaway because the shipping on them would cost as much as you could buy them for on TikTok with free shipping. But I am trading these to a really good friend who is an electrician to do some electrical work. So he's getting a whole set of these because he's got tools upon tools. But I'm going to turn this where maybe. All right. So my TikTokers, let me see if I can do this. I want to show you this. It's a little more. Okay, there you go. So everybody see that red cabinet over there? And I want you to see, I want you to look. So it's magnetized in all the way across the bottom. So when you drop a socket in there, it stays. And you can see how the numbers are clearly marked. So it's easy to, if it's laying flat in your drawer where your sockets are, it's easy to find the size that you need. But check this out. Everybody see me over here? I'm way over here. You see that red cabinet right there? That filing cabinet? Check this out. See how that, and you got to understand that I have plastic on it. So that matter of fact, I'm going to just take it off because it don't matter. I want you to hear, so you can take that out of your tool drawer and stick it like on a fender inside underneath the hood, and it would attach itself and it wouldn't go anywhere, and you could work on it and then take it off. And this particular one, now there's different brands, but this particular one even has a little tray where you could put your little screws and stuff if you wanted to store it. So there you go. I have now shown you one of these. TikTok, you'll have to, I don't know what the current price is, but the last time I looked, you got the full set. You got, I'm just going to reposition here. You got the full set of 1/4, 3/8, and 1/2 inch. And there's a red one and a blue one for each size. Dude, I think it was like, I want to say it was like $49 and free shipping. You'd have to check on TikTok again. I don't have it right here in front of me. Yeah, I've got 2 sets of those now. One in this toolbox behind me, another one in another set of toolboxes. If you're looking for something that's worth the money and does exactly what it says it does, I mean, you can hold those up. Your sockets will not fall out of them. And it makes it so much easier when you're working on stuff. You're not, digging in a drawer trying to find the right size socket. You find the right socket. Oh, wait a minute. It's the wrong drive. You got a 3/8. You just picked up a 1/2-inch drive socket. So whoever came up with that idea, I thought it was a good one. And I like them. I've got 2 sets. I traded that to a friend. He's going to do some electrical work for me. So that's a plus. Let me see. Where was I going after that? Let's see where we're at. What kind of painting are we talking? Okay, so I answered the painting question. It's about timing and filling in the pinholes. Yeah. Also, don't turn the paint gun slide. Yeah. I've seen people paint cars that are really good at it too, dude. I mean, just really good. And that's the thing is I've lived in this house 20 years and I've painted it 3 times because myself, all by myself, every time. And people ask about why don't you pay somebody to paint your house? And I said, well, why would I pay somebody for something that I know how to do? And painters don't, if you haven't checked lately, painters don't work cheap. Paint's gotten really expensive, and so has painters. I think the next door neighbor just had his exterior of his home painted, and I want to say he paid nearly $5,000 to have it painted, which, I can paint my house on the weekends. And it might take me 6 weeks to do it, but I think I do a better job, and I use better paint, and more paint gets on the wall. I had an old painter tell me one time. So depending on who's painting your house, a lot of these painters will use the lowest quality of paint to paint your house. They'll want to paint it eggshell. Well, eggshell doesn't last. Just letting anybody know, if you decide you're going to paint the exterior of your house, don't waste your money. Don't paint your house. I use semi-gloss on the outside, and people are like, what? Yep, semi-gloss. Because in Texas, the heat degrades the paint. And so, yes, initially when you first put it on, it's pretty shiny. Not that shiny, but it's shiny. But you get 2 or 3 coats of semi-gloss on the exterior of your house, it builds up kind of like a shell. And if it gets dirty, you can take a power washer and clean the siding, and it makes it look like you painted it again. And for every time you paint, and I usually paint the house every 3 to 5 years, each layer, if you stay with the same kind of paint, either the same, you don't necessarily have to be the same color, but the same quality of paint, your exterior siding should never rot and fall apart. And especially these days when, of course, some of the initial siding that they put on older homes back in the early 70s, if they got any kind of water behind them, they'd swell, and so that wasn't really good siding. But now they use that concrete top siding, and it's much better. And so, yeah, that's what I know about paint. And the same thing interior. If you get a builder grade home, or you have even custom builders do it, when it comes to paint, they'll paint most of them will paint a semi-gloss for your trim, maybe one under, but usually a semi-gloss. But your walls, they'll paint with flat. And they paint flat because it's the cheapest paint they can buy. But I hate flat paint. A lot of people, at least in Texas, flat paint on your ceiling they say they do it because it hides imperfections in the texture. Maybe a little, but on the walls, I always use satin. And the reason I use satin paint is because if some little kid or you happens to touch the wall, scuff the wall, you can take a damp cloth and wipe it off. If you use eggshell or flat paint, then you're just taking paint off the wall along with the texture. Salazar, Caesar, how you doing? Good morning, everybody. Michael Menard, what do you work on in the shop? So what do I work on in the shop? Well, you know, it's called Dave's Shop because it's my spot where I fix anything that's broken around the house. It's where I do different projects, that type of stuff. I don't work on cars really. They've got too technical. I don't have all that equipment or space. I do a little woodworking, plumbing, you know, just the little projects. I do build some furniture. I build some little, occasionally I'll build some cedar planters for different people that, you know, want to put plants and they want to, it's a real simple thing to do. Anybody can build them. It's nothing special, but they're really popular. And so I just do that kind of stuff. And then now that I finally have internet out there and I'm moving my office, or, you know, some people call it a studio office. It's going to be my space where I go live and you know, I've kind of I've had to adjust a few things. I won't be cutting any wood projects inside there anymore. So I'll be taking anything like that outside. I have a patio in front. It's not covered, but maybe eventually it will be. However, the trees now have gotten big enough that I do get some afternoon shade from that. So unless so as long as it's not raining, it's fine. And I can do all my cutting outside. Yeah. Also, don't turn the paint gun. That's good. That's correct. Okay. What else did I'm sitting here talking, thinking, what else did I have on this? We talked about all the products. We talked about painting. I updated everybody on what I'm working on in the shop. For my YouTubers, just so you know, I've been posting. I've started posting in the community post, and if I understand correctly, with my training from YouTube out of California, is that those community posts are, I think they pop up in the short feed too. So yesterday I posted one thanking everybody that had done super chats. And the reason I'm showing you the office and stuff is because I want to be fully transparent. And I want you to know that when you do a super chat like that, what you're supporting. And what you're supporting is right now is what it's, you know, me having to move and create a new space that's heated and cooled. Really, the heat is from out there. You can do from a space heater, but the, you know, buying an air conditioner and getting all that done and insulating that shop so that it was efficient. That's all being funded through super chats and my own pocketbook. So anybody that ever does that, super chats, gifts, any of that, I just want to let you know that that's that's where the money's being used. Let's see what else. Let me see what else did I have. We talked about the giveaway. That was fun. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Anything at all? You know, if you ever come up with a topic that you want to talk about, send me an email. If it's a topic I decide to use after getting your Harv join. Hey man, what's up? If you send me a topic and we talk about it, I'll make sure that you're you know, mentioned that it's a topic that you wanted to talk about. Well, somebody, and I don't even know who it was, wanted to talk about old cars the other day. So we did a few questions about cars. Have an excellent morning, everybody. Oh, thank you for the reminder. It's Thursday, and I want to let everybody know, Ed Blonsky, a couple of things. One, he has a new season of Reflection out on Spotify and Apple Music. So if you like podcasts, go check that out. This is season 6. So if you missed any of the others, you can go back and watch out. He has guests where he interviews them. And it's a Christian podcast, but dude, they're great. So if you're looking for a podcast, go check that out. Also, we have a Bible study. Start off, it's men's Bible study, but really this Bible study is for anybody and everybody. Ed leads it. He does it in his garage, surprisingly, and he streams it to YouTube and TikTok at the same time. Starts at 6:30 Central Standard Time. Come join us. It's a little different. There's not a lot of commenting. However, if you do have a question, by all means, put it in the comments to Ed. If he can't get to you during the live, he will respond to you afterwards. But dude, you got to come to the men's Bible or just to Bible study. Let's just put it that way. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever. You might not think it's for you, but Ed does such a great job of presenting Bible study and just talking about stories and different things in different parts of the Bible that maybe you didn't know about. So many of them I knew some about, but I'd never heard it presented quite that way. I grew up either in part of the time in a Methodist church and the other part of the time in a Baptist church. I was married in a Methodist church. Ed is Lutheran, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we're talking about Jesus Christ. So I don't worry about the devil's not in the details. It's that he's sharing the word, and it's a good time to just spend an hour of your week and just unwind and listen. You'll be surprised what you might learn. Anyway, come join us tonight. He does it every Thursday night, 6:30, unless he lets me know for some reason. There's been a few times during the holidays and technical outages where we didn't do it, but usually it's Thursdays. It's normally a men's Bible study, but everyone's welcome. Men, women. We have had so many people join from YouTube and TikTok. So we're trying to build that community. Everybody's welcome. Make sure you do that. Ed, thank you very much for that quick reminder. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tonight at 6:30. So yeah, we did that, covered that. What else was I going to? There was something I was going to specifically ask about. And Chris, I didn't see Chris, but I did reach out to him to let him know I hadn't sent his stud finder wall scanner to him yet, but I finally got the packaging. I got some packaging from FedEx today that I needed, but I'm not sure they sent me the right stuff. But I've got some more stuff coming today. So, Chris, if you're seeing or listening to this, I haven't forgot about you. I will get that headed your way. I guess that's it. That's all I have for today. I've got some other stuff we'll talk about and do again tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday. It is Thursday. Go do something kind today. What's this? JJ, don't go yet. Oh, man. All right. Thanks, Jay. Keep it going. If you need to go, I know people pop in and pop out on this live because we start at 6 a.m. If it's time and you got to go to work or you need to run, feel free. I appreciate all the support, all the gifts. I love having coffee with you guys in the morning. And you need to know that this live is all about all of you, really. JJ, you the man. Let me do this. I learned this little part. I can do oh, wait a minute. I don't want to report you for that, but I do want to give you a little heart. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate that. And so that was one of the things I posted on the community post on YouTube, was a thank you to everyone who had, a personal thank you from me to you for the super chats, because they do make a huge difference. Trust me. And I am so grateful. And so thank you for your kindness, and thank you for your giving heart. I really do appreciate it. And I'll tell you a story real quick, because I've been in a training with YouTube, and when I was invited to this boot camp, I had no idea what it was about. Just that I thought, well, I've committed myself full time for a minimum of 6 months to see how I can grow my social media that I've been involved in since 2019. And I can tell you, it's being successful. It is growing. Would I like to see it explode? 100% I would. Maybe. But along with super growth comes more time and responsibility and all that. See my Galaxy the other day or what? Hayden Sterling, what going on? Hey, Hayden, how's it going, buddy? We're just visiting and talking about giveaway of Super Clean. We talked about the shop conversion and moving, showed a few products, that type of stuff. And right now I'm talking to Jay on YouTube about his super chat donation towards the new air conditioner for the new location. So thank you. Thank you. But anyway, one of the things, what I was going to say is that in that YouTube training, I think for me, now everybody's different. I have learned more and resolved more issues and understand things better of stuff that I've learned from other creators that do similar things. Maybe they don't talk about tools or whatever. They may do cooking, or one lady does gardening in her garden. So I saw that, Hayden. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. You the man. So I've made a video thanking people. I'm going to continue to show. I'm taking pictures of the different stages of what I'm doing, so I can share it with everybody. But yeah, the gifts, the support, the sharing the lives, the subscribing, the super chats, all of that, that all is a culmination, and it all helps. And if you happen to see a product on a YouTube video or a TikTok video, and it's something that you need or want, or you see it's a good deal, boom, click that thing. There's a small commission I earn for that too. So, and all of that goes towards the current project I'm working on. So like I said, I can't thank you enough and tell you, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I just met that person, or we just, they've been in some lives, and they, did a super chat, or they did a really nice gift, or, they said kind words about me. I was like, well, I don't know that I deserve all that, but I definitely appreciate it. And so Jay on YouTube, he's done super chats a couple of times, and I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. But back to the story. So we're in a breakout meeting in that training, and they group you with other creators, and they're not similar. They're just other YouTube creators that go live, because I found out that the training is about going live on YouTube. And a lot of them will have you, they talked about using a decoder so that you could stream to multiple platforms. A lot of people use OBS. It's a free piece of software. I hadn't really got a warm and fuzzy. I've looked at it. My word would be keep it simple, stupid for most people. And, a lot of people are struggling with it. And so a lot of those classes have been over that, but I don't use it. I use a different method. So I find my method, one, I know how to use it, and There's more to a need. Jay, if you're, well, I can tell you, I got a really good deal on that air conditioner. It only cost about, the actual unit cost like $400, but that is way cheaper than $8,000 for a, a mini split system. So that's why I'm moving the office. And then, you know, like I said, it's not just the AC, but you know, I've had to run 250 to 300 feet of Ethernet cable and bury it and get that in there, and had to insulate the shop and redo all of that. So you know, all of those things. My time, I got time. I do that. But yeah, just to answer your question, yeah, it's so. It was going to be $8,000 to do it here, and I think with my not counting anything that I do myself, I think I can do that out there for probably, I don't know, $1,500 total material and me doing all the labor. So, which is a lot less, but that's good. Let's see, what else was I going to say? So moving on. Anyway, in the breakout, the lady, one of the creators, somebody brought up super chats and gifts, and I'm like, and they're all talking about, oh yeah, we do this, we get that, and I'm like, you know, I don't really feel comfortable, talking like that, or you know, saying, hey, give me some money. You know, I just don't feel comfortable doing that. And I said, so, you know, so I said, I just don't do it. And the lady that was in our group spoke up. She goes, now, she said, listen to me. I've been doing this for, I don't know, 5-6 years. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you do when you go live? She goes, well, I cook in my kitchen. And then sometimes she does some arts and crafts. But that's basically what she does on her live. And she says, I get super chats all the time. You just have to make it fun. You have to let people, you know if you have a project or a need or whatever, or if they just want to make a contribution because they like what you're doing. She goes, and that's okay. It's okay for them to do that. You don't need to feel guilty for that. And, you know, because we're all trying to, you know, keep equipment going and do the live. But I think the main thing she told me is that, you know, people during the live, they don't want AI. They don't want all this fancy stuff. They want a live person, someone who's real and honest. And that's where they, you know, you make those connections. And I would have to agree with her. I've made some really good connections since I started going live, 3 months ago? We'll see. Actually, you see October. So probably I started going live last September. How time flies. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March. About 7 months now. Of course, it was a slow roll. I'm on live more now than in the past. But, you know, I went through being laid off and shared that information. Talked about adjusting to, you know, being home and kind of forced into a retirement that I wasn't planning on. Adjusting, you know, my wife's retired, and she retired a year before I did. And, you know, just that whole thing, and then making, you know, really good friends like Casey and Chris and Ed. Those three guys have been supporting me from day one on TikTok, and we've all, I think, grown closer, and I call them my friends, and I think they call me their friends. And I have people like Kelly Rosenthal, now Jay's jumped in here, and other people that continue to come back to the lives, whether they ever donate a gift or a super chat or anything, just that they come back and they're involved, and we have coffee together
and talk about the world and politics and taxes going up, and that was on my list. I wanted to talk some about our local politics here and something that's going on, but I'm going to hold it for tomorrow. It was funny because we got to talking about politics the week before. It seemed like every day we got directed into some type of political conversation. And I never had this before, but I don't know. I wasn't listening to myself, but maybe I got a little rambunctious about a subject when they were talking. I think somebody made the comment about police officers. It was something negative about them, and I'm a little sensitive there because my father was a 40+ year law enforcement officer. I've been around them all my life, and I know that not everybody is a great police officer, but there are way many more that are great police officers than are not. And when people make generalized statements and they don't know what they're talking about, I have to defend them. And so I think I was defending something, and TikTok popped up, said, "You need to stop talking about that. That's hate speech." Well, I wasn't being hateful. I was just, maybe I raised my voice. I don't know. I didn't think I was being hateful, but I had to kind of stop the conversation, get a hold of myself. But in all, I wasn't, I think everybody's entitled to their opinion, me included. Oh, I got to ask this one question because I saw it pop up. So let me ask you this question, and this may be my question of the day. And so nobody else is going to see it until I film it, but it may be worded slightly different on my question of the day video. But for everybody that's on the live right now, here's my question. Do you think that when people get older, that their filter, that they don't filter their speech as much? They kind of just tell it how it is, tell you what they think, and they don't really care if you like it or don't like it. So, one, do you think people are like that as they age? If you're asking my opinion, I do think they are. And I can remember when I was younger, I'd work with some. Hayden, thanks for the follow, buddy. I appreciate the donation towards the AC too. I really do. Thank you very, very much. I worked with a guy that was probably 20+ years older than I was. I was probably in my 40s and he was 70. So maybe 30 years, but I learned so much from him. We traveled on the road, and we were in sales in the coffee business. And I just learned a ton from that man. He's not with us anymore, but was a great mentor. And I can remember going in businesses, and some of the stuff he said, I was like, I'd just be standing there stunned that he said that to somebody. And then afterwards I'd be like, dude, you got a pair of gonads like big. I can't believe you said that. And he said, and for him, it was like, what did I say? And it was just that he was really unfiltered in a lot of cases. Not that he didn't talk, weren't cussing or any of that, but just, he just told it how it was. Jimmy D, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, and so from that was kind of one of the lessons I learned. And he told me, he said, well, I think when you get older that your filter becomes a little less, and you don't really care what people think as much as, it's not that you don't want to be liked, you do, but you'll pretty much tell people, you have a tendency to tell people what you think and not hold back as much as you age. And so my question is do you think, thanks for the likes, buddy, I appreciate all that. Do you think that it's okay? Or do you agree do you think people that maybe that are older, that their filter is not quite as filtering as it used to be, and that they have a tendency to just, 1-2 punch people like with what they think. What do y'all think about that? Do you think that people do that? And that as you age, that's just a natural progression? I kind of think it does, because for me, I know there's things that my wife will tell me, I can't believe you said that. And I'll have to ask her, like, well, what are you talking about? And she'll tell me, and I'm like, she goes, you would have never said that to somebody. And I'm like, yeah. She goes, why are you, and I was like, look, I don't mean to hurt people's feelings, but don't be direct with me if you don't want me to be direct, because I have a tendency to be really direct. And I have to kind of try to still remind myself to rein in the deal. And it's funny that the subject came up last night, because I was reading on Facebook. There was a Facebook article that popped in, and I was like, it was talking about, we got these in the city of Pflugerville last night, late, like it, I want to say, well, I say late, late in the day. It was about 5 o'clock when I saw the message, but they sent out a mass email and a text to residents in the city that we had been put on a stage 3 watering restriction. No outside watering, no washing cars, no filling up your swimming pool, nothing. And they said that we had a break in the water line that fills Pflugerville Lake, which Pflugerville Lake is part of the LCRA, Lower Colorado River Authority, and that's where the water comes from, other than the rain we get. And I was like, what? And they show pictures of the lake being very, very low. Well, most people don't keep up with local politics a lot of times because they're working. They're trying to support their family and pay their bills. They don't have time for all of that. But I can tell you, our water bills here in Pflugerville, mine, every month is $400. And that's no watering outside. That's just, showers, washing your dishes, doing your laundry. $400 a month. And our water bill has gone up every year in the last 5 years. And they project for it to go up every year for the next 5 years. And part of it is the city planners have just, opened up and signed every building contract possible. Like, yep, build. They're building apartments and houses like crazy. But the thing is, and they're letting these builders build all this, all the houses and stuff, and we don't have the infrastructure in place to support it. So what do? So without voting, without anybody in the city or any of the taxpayers or water customers getting a say in it, they sneakily do stuff underhandedly, and they go borrow, I forgot, hundreds of millions of dollars, because they've determined they've got to build these water towers and they got to build sewer treatment plants. And they're just letting these builders build willy-nilly, and we don't have the infrastructure to support it. So without that infrastructure, they went out and borrowed all this money. So to pay for it, they had to raise city taxes. They had to raise all the water rates, the sewer rates, everything. And it is out of hand. And here's the really bad part about it is they tried to push off on everybody here that the city of Pflugerville was growing exponentially. And in the next 5 years, there would be over 100,000 people in the city limits. And after just probably 30 or 40 minutes of research, that is a lie. Actually, the city of Pflugerville and the population is dwindling, not growing. And all projectionists projected for growth of the city, they say the city probably won't ever get over 65,000 people. And the reason is because you have the city of Austin on one side and the city of Round Rock on the other side, and both of those cities are huge, and so they're kind of landlocked, right? So that's what's driven the water prices up. And so when they put people on stage 4, they say, oh yeah, we had a water line break. And so naturally people are like, oh God, that's terrible. And when I tell you the lake level's down, it's down, I'd say it's half empty. It's that far down. And immediately people start asking, well, what happened? When did the line break? Why are we just now being notified? You know, that much water didn't just dissipate out of that size lake that quick. Well, they've known about the water break supposedly since early December. Damn, it's late February, March. Why are we just now doing something? You know, what was the holdup? Well, and most people in the city think there's a little stink in Denmark. We feel like they're lying because they have a tendency to fail to tell the truth, poor planning, and it's just on and on and on. So the city leaders are, it's just like one boondoggle after another. They're building this. They've decided and borrowed money without voter approval to build a Taj Mahal city offices building for cities that are equivalent to the size of Austin, even Austin, you know, just cities with well over 150, 200,000 people. And they didn't get any voter approval. They're spending all kinds of tax dollars. You know, they're raising property taxes and local city taxes and water rates through the roof. And if you talk to any local realtor right now, they are struggling to sell homes in Pflugerville because of increased taxes and the water bill. The water bill is just nuts. I mean, you know, when you can't water your grass, wash your car outside, and you're getting a $400 a month water bill, people start blowing a gasket. So the bottom line is Central Texas has been in drought for several years now. We do have lakes and there's water in the lakes, but we don't have the infrastructure in place for the kind of growth and the build out that they're doing. And yet they, and not just Pflugerville, but Austin too, and Williamson County, they just continue issuing building permits and letting these builders come in and just go crazy. And then when you don't have the infrastructure in place to support it or the water to support it, of course, then the cracks start to show and people start asking questions. But the city leaders for Pflugerville are just probably some of the worst. Austin would go second, and then, you know, Round Rock's has its good points and bad points, but anyway, so that's kind of what's going on. And there's a lot of people asking questions, and we're not getting any answers because we feel like there's a little more to it. You know, some people say, oh, no, it was they lowered the lake level to do some construction. And they're like, okay, well, what construction? Nobody's heard about any construction around the lake. Well, they won't tell anybody because it's BS. And then other people say, no, it was a line break. And that's what happened. Well, if the line broke in December, why are we just now addressing it? And, you know, the fact that they're issuing letting people just build willy-nilly and can't support the infrastructure and putting the cost back on the current people who live in and outside the city in the ETJ. So yeah, there's some unhappy campers. So if you're thinking about moving to Central Texas, don't move to, my vote would be don't move to Austin and don't move to Pflugerville. You know, if you're going to move out into the hill country or north towards Waco or whatever. Anyway, so that's what I got. Let's see.
I still do not understand, will never understand how we switched our whole lives to these economical response LEDs and never saved a US dollar. I'm with you 150%, Rocklick. I get it. What a quaint little room. Thanks. Thank you, PSFDS. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the follow, Hayden. Thanks for the, thank you everybody for joining. And so anyway, kind of the topic was going to go was asking, do you think older people that their filter diminishes and they have a tendency to say what's on their mind? And I've had several people here locally. There's a couple of positions open on the city council. I've never run for any kind of public office, school board, HOA member, mainly because I never had time. But I've had a lot of people asking me to run for city council. But then I have to stop and ask myself, do I have time for that? And am I really qualified to be on the city council? And, one of the things I talk about a government in general is that where's the common sense? People just, I don't know where the common sense went when you start talking about politics. There's people just, I don't know. I don't know if they get into it and then they realize, oh my God, I can do this, that, and the other. And it's self-gratification and not really doing stuff that benefits the people around. Everybody doesn't have time to go to a city council meeting twice a week. And so I don't know, I'm kind of wrestling with that. And, I could run, but, would running for city council really have much of an effect? I don't know. What do y'all think? If you had that same situation, would you run for a city office? Or maybe it was a school board, or have any of you ever held public office or run for public office? If so, let me know. Send me an email. Tell me what your experience is. Anyway, guys, it is 7:53. Thank you for joining me this morning. We're going to be back here tomorrow, 6 a.m. Live. We're going to finish out the week Friday and have our Friday coffee together. So everybody, Tractor Man 44 just jumped in. Anyway, had a great day. Everybody, ruled by Saturn, thank you very much. Everybody who's joined, JJ, you the man, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for all the support. Go do something kind today. Kindness is free and goes a long way. And I'll see y'all back in the morning. Gotta go. Bye-bye.